What could be the implications of the recent Iran-Israel attacks? Can this spark a potential nuclear war, or is it just a temporary blip? These are questions many are asking as we delve into the ongoing conflict between these two countries. This is not a new feud, but the recent attacks have marked a significant escalation. Just last month, Iran launched a public barrage of missiles and drones at Israel in response to an earlier airstrike in Damascus. Israel, in turn, retaliated with a symbolic strike on an Iranian airbase near Isfahan, activating Iran's air defenses. Though the incident didn't cause significant damage, it did send a clear message. Now, with this recent escalation, both countries now face an opportunity to either escalate or de-escalate the situation. Let's delve deeper into Iran's actions and motives. Recent events have seen Iran making noteworthy advancements in uranium enrichment, a process that's crucial for developing nuclear weapons. This has raised alarm bells across the globe, but it doesn't stop there. Iran has also been reticent about granting access to a key centrifuge production facility, further heightening concerns about its nuclear ambitions. In order to understand Iran's actions, we also need to look at its influence in the region. Iran has been known to assert its influence through proxies like Hamas and Hezbollah. These groups act on behalf of Iran, furthering its interest and expanding its reach. One significant instance of this strategy was the recent Hamas attacks. These attacks were not just random acts of violence. They were specifically aimed at disrupting talks between Israel and Saudi Arabia. Why, you might ask? Well, these talks posed a threat to Iran's influence in the region. If Israel and Saudi Arabia were to reach an agreement, it could potentially weaken Iran's position. But here's where things get interesting. Despite its aggressive tactics and nuclear advancements, Iran is wary of provoking a direct confrontation with Israel and the United States. This is primarily because Iran lacks the military capability to engage in a full-scale conflict with these powers. So, what we're seeing is a delicate game of chess. Iran is trying to increase its regional clout and assert its dominance, all while avoiding an outright war. It's a risky strategy, and only time will tell if it pays off. While Iran is stepping up its shadow war with Israel to increase its regional clout, it is cautious of provoking a direct confrontation. Now, let's explore Israel's response and actions. In the face of Iran's public barrage of missiles and drones, Israel did not sit idle. In a move that was both retaliatory and symbolic, Israel launched a limited strike on an Iranian airbase near Isfahan. An action that, while not causing significant damage, activated Iran's air defenses and signaled Israel's unwillingness to be a passive target. Israel's reaction to Iran's aggressions extends beyond the battlefield. It has voiced serious concerns over Iran's nuclear program. The Jewish state has been keeping a close eye on the developments in Tehran, particularly Iran's advancements in uranium enrichment. The prospect of a nuclear-armed Iran is seen as a significant threat to Israel's national security, and it has indicated its readiness to take preventive steps if necessary. Israel's stance is rooted in a long history of conflict and distrust with Iran. The two nations have been locked in a shadow war for years, with tensions escalating and de-escalating periodically. Recent attacks have marked a significant escalation, raising concerns about the potential implications for regional stability. Despite the escalating tensions, Israel has shown restraint in its responses, focusing on limited and targeted strikes. This approach seems to be aimed at preventing a full-scale confrontation, which could have far-reaching and unpredictable consequences. However, the situation remains volatile. Israel's indication that it may take action to prevent Iran from obtaining nuclear weapons adds a new layer of complexity to an already tense situation. It shows a readiness to escalate beyond the shadow war, if necessary to safeguard its national security. Israel's response to Iran's attacks has been measured, but it has made clear its readiness to take action against Iran's nuclear ambitions. Now, let's consider the international perspective on this conflict. The United States and its allies have reinitiated talks with Iran regarding the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. This move comes amid growing uncertainty about Tehran's approach and skepticism about the potential outcome of these discussions. Iran's recent advancements in uranium enrichment have raised concerns on an international level. The U.S. has made it clear that it is prepared to consider other options if diplomacy fails, a statement that underscores the seriousness of the situation. Meanwhile, China, a key ally of Iran, has been urging restraint. This call for caution underscores China's desire to prevent further destabilization in a region already fraught with conflict. It also highlights the delicate balance of power that exists in the region and the potential implications of any drastic actions. This conflict between Iran and Israel is not just a bilateral issue. It has the potential to upset the balance of power in the Middle East, and by extension, the world. The intensification of Iran's shadow war with Israel, through proxies like Hamas and Hezbollah, is a clear attempt to undermine Israel and enhance Iran's influence in the region. However, such actions carry the risk of backfiring and leading to a direct confrontation with Israel and the US, a scenario that Iran, given its current military capability, is cautious of provoking. The international community is on high alert, closely watching the developments between Iran and Israel. The recent missile exchanges, although symbolic and not causing significant damage, have marked a significant escalation in the long-standing conflict between the two nations. The potential implications for regional stability and future actions cannot be overstated. The international community is closely watching this conflict with potential implications for regional stability and future actions. So, what does all this mean for the future of Iran-Israel relations? Let's distill the key points. Iran's public barrage and Israel's retaliation mark a significant escalation in their long-standing conflict. The chessboard is set, but the next move is uncertain. Will this lead to a full-blown war, or is it just a temporary blip? On one hand, Iran's advancements in uranium enrichment and its push for complete US sanctions relief have raised alarm bells. The possibility of a nuclear war, however grim, cannot be completely ruled out. On the other hand, the regional dynamics have shifted since the 2015 nuclear deal. Most Gulf countries now see the value of de-escalation. Iran's cautious stance to avoid a direct confrontation with Israel and the US hints at a potential de-escalation, yet the situation remains volatile. The recent attacks have complicated the geopolitical landscape, with implications for future actions and regional stability. The uncertainty looms large, with potential for escalation or de-escalation hinging on various factors, including how the international community responds. The recent Iran-Israel attacks have raised many questions, the answers to which will determine the course of their future relations and regional stability.